Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to talk about verbal behavior. What is this? What is verbal behavior? Verbal behavior is a theory of language proposed by the American psychologist Skinner. According to this theory, speech develops just like any other behavior through interactions with others and reinforcement. Why is teaching your child using Skinner's verbal behavior approach important? As parents, you naturally want to support your child's language development. But did you know that simply teaching words isn't enough? Skinner's verbal behavior approach helps children learn not just to say words, but to use them meaningfully in everyday life. This method is especially effective for children who struggle with communication, such as those with speech delays or autism spectrum disorder. Why is this approach so powerful? Words become tools, not just sounds. Think about it. Does your child say cookie just because they know the word or because they actually want a cookie? Skinner's method ensures that words have a purpose, covers all aspects of speech development. Your child does just learn vocabulary, but also how to ask what they need. Want. I want water. I want swing. So, or name objects and experiences. Tact. Repeat words, echoic, or have conversation, interverbal. Why is this approach so powerful? Encourages social interactions. Children don't just learn to talk, they learn to communicate with people around them. Parents, teachers, and friends. This boosts confidence and social skills. Works even for children with limited speech. If your child nonverbal or struggling to use words. This approach works with gestures, picture cards, PECS, AC devices, and sign language to build communication skills. Uses motivation, not memorization. Instead of forcing a child to repeat words, we motivate them to use language by rewarding meaningful speech. If they say ball, they get the ball, not just praise. How can you help your child at home? Show them visuals, pictures, gestures to support communication. Ask simple questions and encourage responses. Praise every effort to communicate. Words, gestures, even pointing. Focus on functional language, not just memorizing words. Why does this matter? According to Skinner, verbal behavior has a purpose and function. It is not just about saying words, but about using language to achieve a goal. Every time we speak, our words serve a specific function, whenever it's asking for something, labeling objects, or having a conversation. Why does this matter? Think about it. When a child says milk, what do they really mean? Are they asking for milk? Because they are thirsty. In this case, it's going to be mouth, because this is request, real desire. Or are they pointing to milk and naming it? This is tag. Are they repeating after you when you say milk? This is echoic. Are they answering a question like, what do cars give us? This is interverbal skill, interverbal operation. Each of these serves a different function in communication. How can this help your child? If a child struggles with speech, understanding the function behind their words or non-verbal attempts helps us support their communication more effectively. Instead of just teaching words, we teach them how to use language to get their needs met, express feelings, and interact with others. Language isn't just about speaking. It's about using words for purpose, with a purpose. Let's explore each type of verbal behavior in more detail. Skinner categorized verbal behavior into different types based on their function. So let's break them down and see how they help children communicate effectively. So, want. This is our first one. Requesting or asking for something. What is this? A want is when a child uses words, gestures, or communication tools to ask for something they want or need. Example, the child says, juice. Then they want a drink juice. They want a drink. They reach for a toy and say, ball. Why this is important? It's one of the first types of language a child develops because it's directly reinforced. They get what they ask for. How can you help? Encourage your child to ask for things, even they use gestures or pictures. When they request something, give it to them immediately to reinforce communication. How does a child communicate their needs? Understand wants in everyday life. Imagine this. Your child wants to be pushed on the swing at the playground. What do? They might reach out their hands to ask for push, cry or whine to get your attention. Push someone out of the bay to get to the swing. Say push to make their request clear. All of these actions serve the same function, to communicate, I want to be pushed on the swing. What's happening here? According to verbal behavior theory, these are all man's responses, meaning they are ways requesting something the child wants. For request man to be effective, there needs to be a functional connection between the motivation the child wants to swing, the response, gesture, word, or behavior, and reinforcement, getting pushed on the swing. Why is this important? Children with speech delays or limited verbal skills often use non-verbal behavior, crying, pushing, grabbing, instead of words to communicate their needs. If they haven't learned to use words effectively, their frustration can lead to challenging behaviors. How can you help? Recognize their attempts to communicate. If your child reaches out, instead of just pushing them on the swing, model the word. You want to swing? Do you want to swing? Say push. Encourage words or signs. If they can't say push, teach them a simple sign or picture to use. Be consistent. If a child learns that words work better than crying, they will choose words more often. So they always chooses the response that takes and requires less efforts. By helping your child use verbal or functional communication instead of problem behaviors, you are giving them a powerful tool to express themselves, and that makes life easier for both you and the child. Why are months so important for early language development? Did you know that demanding, requesting is the very first form of verbal communication a child develops? It plays a key role in everyday interactions and helps children learn how to express their needs and wants effectively. Demanding starts early. Even before babies learn to speak, they use early form of demanding, such as crying differently, when they are hungry, tired, cold, in pain, or scared, reaching out when they want to be picked up, looking at an object and making sounds to get your attention. As children grow, month behavior evolves. Instead of just crying, toddlers might cry for a toy they want, raise their arms to ask for help, pull your hands to take you somewhere, say more, help, or go to communicate their needs. Why is this important? Months teach children that communication gives them control over their environment. Instead of crying in frustration, they learn that words or signs or gestures, pictures. Help them get what they need, what they want. Minding helps children take on both speaker and listener roles, which are essential for later language and social development. How can you support your child? Respond to their attempts. If they point at a toy, say, "Oh, you want that ball?" Say, "Ball." Model simple requests. Encourage words or signs instead of just giving them what they want. Praise communication efforts. Whenever they use words, gestures, or pictures, acknowledge their attempts. Helping your child transition from crying to more structured ways of communicating will make their world and yours much easier. Why are months so powerful for your child's communication? Did you know that minding, requesting, is the only type of verbal behavior that directly benefits the speaker? Skinner emphasized that months help a child get exactly what they want. Whether it's food, toys, activities, attention, or even avoiding something unpleasant. Why do young children use months so often? Toddlers and young children naturally use a high level of minding because it's quickly to learn that it works. When they ask for something and get it, they realize, if I say or do something, I can change my word. For example, a child says juice and they get juice. They reach for a toy and say ball and you hand them the ball. They say no when they don't want something and then wanting thing goes away. Since months help meet child's immediate needs, they become strong and consistent forms of communication. How does this help future language growth? Over time, children expand their requests and start using language for more than just basic needs. They learn to ask for different things, use fuller sentences. Instead of just water, they say, "I want water, please." Use months in social situations like "come play with me," "can I have a turn?" Develop skills for conversations, learning, and social interactions. How can you encourage strong communication? Respond to their demands. If your child makes an effort to ask, acknowledge and reinforce it. Expand their request. If they say car model, big red car, or I want a car please. So it might be different responses. Encourage new ways to ask. Words, signs, pictures, or devices like PECS all count. The big picture? Minding isn't just about getting a snack or a toy. It builds the foundation for complex communication in school, friendships, work, and everyday life. By supporting your child's requests now, you are setting them for a lifelong communication success. Why are the demands important for understanding your child's behavior? Minding requesting is a key skill in typical child development. But when a child has difficulty expressing their needs, frustration can lead to problem behaviors, crying, tantrums, hitting, or withdrawing. How can we identify communication challenges? By analyzing a child's ability to use commands, we can better understand the root of their communication difficulties. Ask yourself these questions. How does my child let others know what they need or want? Do they use unwanted behaviors, crying, grabbing, pushing, to get what they want? Do they use very few words or gestures to request things even though they are interested in many objects or activities? The answers to these questions help determine where to start when teaching your child to use more effective communication strategies. How can we identify communication challenges? How can the specialists and parents support minding? Assess the child's current skills. Do they use words, gestures, or other forms of communication? Identify missing skills. Are they relying on problem behaviors instead of requests? What do they choose? Just to cry? Or they use words to ask for assistance or ask about desirable object or item? Create an intervention plan. Teach new ways to request things through words, signs, or pictures. Why is this important? By helping children build strong bonding skills, we reduce frustration, minimize problem behaviors, and empower them to communicate effectively. This is a major step toward better social interactions, learning, and independence. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed today's meeting, and I hope to see you soon. So we continue and carry on talking about different verbal operands. So stay with us and have a great day. See you.